Hey everyone, Tony Gaddis here, and in today's video we're going to go over ease in and ease out. Okay, and we're just going to use a really simple character, and this will work in any program. The principles are all the same. Okay, you could do this in stop motion, in 3D, you could do it in a 2D animation software. So let's go ahead and create. I'm just going to have this little fat bee. Okay, I've been drawing him lately, and I just kind of really like his fat little body. And let's get his little eyeballs in here. Okay, and he's gonna smile. He's got these 4 teeth, and let's try to get more of a goofy look on him. Okay, he's gonna have these little antennas poke out, and he's got these little arms. Okay, and he's got these little legs that dangle like this. And I'm going to go ahead and give him some stripes, 3 stripes like this, okay? And this will be our first key pose, okay? And we're going to give him some little wings right in here, okay? And they're going to be flapping like really fast, okay? And so the first thing we're going to do is label this as a key pose by just putting a circle up in the corner, okay? And that lets me know visually that this is a key pose, and we could label it 1. Oh, he's got this little stinger back here. Okay, but what we're going to do is just leave it blank for now. So we're just going to keep this simple. So this little dude is going to fly over. So I'm going to insert a frame, and I'm just going to start drawing over here. And this is our second drawing, okay, and I'm on frame 2. And this will hopefully make more sense in a little bit when we start really getting into the animation part. So he's going to fly over here, but he's going to see something. And it's going to make him, like, super happy, you know? So he's going to open his mouth. He's got this tongue back there. And maybe his arms are out like this. Okay, there's that stripe. And I know the stripe got thinner, but this is just demonstration purposes. You can clean this up later. So let's do his legs maybe out like something like this. Okay. He's like, ah, and then just so happy. Maybe he sees his best friend, or who knows? He sees a piece of cheese. He loves cheese. So these are our 2 key poses. All right, see how he got a little bit bigger? I'm going to shrink him down a little. I'm just kind of flipping back and forth just to see what he looks like. Clean it up slightly. Okay. Okay, so we're going to mark this as a key pose over here. And most things, when they start their movement, they slow out and gain momentum, okay? And so we could have a fast action through here. He could fly over to that spot really quick. As long as we like overshoot it or ease into that pose. And so your starting pose right here, the one you're coming out of, we're going to ease out of this pose, okay? And we could have him blink. So right now I'm just going to ease out of this pose, okay? And so I'm going to insert a blank frame, and I'm going to do a breakdown pose, okay? And this will be him flying over. Because I didn't want to just have the same pose in here. So this is kind of a specialized drawing. And that's why I decided to add it. So he's flying over and he's still happy, okay? Still gonna do 4. His head got a little skinnier, but that's okay. Okay, maybe you see this arm back there, and his wings are, and they're just going crazy. They're flapping like crazy. He's got this little stinger. I keep forgetting the stinger, so there we go. Okay, so do you feel that? So this is a breakdown pose. Okay, he's zipping over. And so I want to ease out of this first pose into him zipping over, okay? So I'm going to insert a blank frame. And we could turn on onion skinning. I'm going to dip him down like this. Okay. And I am on my other drawing, which I do not want, so I'm going to erase that. I want to be on this blank drawing right here. So I'm going to click and create a blank one. So we have one drawing here, a blank drawing, our in between, and a final T pose. Okay. So if I'm coming out of this, I get to decide how he comes out of it. So I think I'm going to have him just art down and like dive down like this. And then he's going to just come up, you know, into that. So he's like looking like this. And he's like diving. And maybe his antennas are coming back like that. And I'm going to drag those antennas like this. Get some wings in there. So I'm just going to try to do this really fast and loose, okay? Just get the idea down. If I don't like it, I can change it, and I don't have a lot invested in this drawing. Okay, so let's scoot him down. Just kind of pivot. Okay, and sometimes you just have to change things as you see fit, okay? So he's gonna dip down and curve up, okay? So let's insert a frame between that drawing and this one, and let's just have him dipping down some more. Okay, so I'm just easing out of that first pose. Okay. And if I insert another frame, I can come up here and I'm just getting closer and closer to that first drawing, okay? And like maybe this drawing is where, you know, like he's already looking down at that spot he's gonna go into. These little wings in here, they're flapping. His antennas are gonna drag back from where they're coming from, okay? And then as he dips down, maybe his antennas do something like that. You know, he's looking down like this, and maybe his arms are kind of dragging. And this foot, maybe it's dragging back. Okay. So now let's zoom in a little. And let's get from this drawing to this one, okay? So let's click to have a blank drawing. And now I'm just going ever so slightly. Maybe he's like, wait, he looks down, and now we're getting closer to that first drawing. And we could offset his feet a little, get his stinger in there, his hands. Okay, let's get his wings flapping. His antennas are gonna start to drag. Maybe his eyebrows like drag back. Okay, so let's go to our first drawing again. Insert another drawing. We're gonna come down here and click. And we're just gonna get closer and closer in between these drawings. Okay. And this is where we could have, like, you could have him blink before he looks down. That might be a good idea. You can get these stripes in here. Get his tail. Get that. Get in there. Okay, so I'm just keeping it real loose. Okay, so let's get him to look down. Let's do one more. We're going to go in here and click. Okay, so now, like, you see the only thing moving is, like, maybe his eyes, like dart down. Okay. Because now we're almost right on top of our other drawing, the next drawing. Okay. And when we hit play, he'll ease out of this. And we'll start playing with timing too once we get all these drawn. Right now we're doing every frame. But that's just to keep it simple and keep track of what we're doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and insert another one and go down to frame 2. So I'm just doing the same thing over and over, okay? Getting closer and closer, and I'm gonna draw over the top. This will create like a moving hold. That way it won't go from one drawing directly into animating. He'll kind of wiggle. His lines will kind of wiggle. Okay, let's get this in here. Just keeping it real loose in case I need to change stuff and these wings flapping. Okay, so now let's kind of play with timing. Now if we flip through, we see our drawings like progressively get further and further apart, okay? We're easing out of this first drawing. Do you feel that? I'm just flipping frame by frame. And now we could start to play with some of the timing if we wanted. Okay, so let's hold this first drawing for 2 frames. 1, 2. We'll hold this one for 2 frames. Okay, and then he's gonna really quick look down, and let's hold this one for 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 frames, and then we'll start to move. Let's maybe do that on 2s, and do this one on 2s, and then we'll do this on 1 and 1, and then to our key pose. Okay, we'll see how that feels. Actually, let's put that one on 1s, okay? That's auto renumber. So now we have a drawing at 1, 3, 5, 6, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, okay? And let's move our stop marker up here and just hit play. Okay, let's zoom out. And let's hold this last drawing, I don't know, just a few frames, 17 frames. And bring our stop marker down. Okay, now let's hit play. Zip. Okay, do you feel him slowing out of that? Oop. and then quick. Okay, so now we could do the exact same thing, but on the other side. We could ease into this one, okay? So we could come down here to frame 16, which that's what this one is. Okay, and I am going to move it like this and stretch it out like this. Just because I like having a really stretchy frame. And I'm going to have him look up into that, okay? So let's go to frame 16, insert a blank frame. So we're holding drawing 16 for 2 frames. If I turn off onion skinning, it looks like this. Okay, when I flip 16 to 17, I'm going to go to 17, and I'm not going to worry about my timing right now. I'm just going to start drawing, okay? So I'm thinking I want him really quick up into here. Okay. Maybe his butt's not here yet. Okay. Okay, let's do that over. And sometimes it goes like this. So let's bend him like this. We can get his head up there. Try to get a nice arc in here of him coming up. Let's get this eyeball in there, and let's get this one. And let's have him open his mouth. His teeth are on top. Almost forgot. Okay. And maybe his hands are still dragging. He's got these 3 stripes. His legs are dragging. His stinger. Okay, I'm just trying to get this nice, fast looking motion in here. Okay. His antennas. Now maybe they're swooping down like this to help sell that motion. Okay, so now let's insert a blank frame. Click. Okay, and now we're just easing up into this drawing. Okay. So I'm favoring that red drawing just slightly. We're just going to get him to ease in to that pose, okay? And maybe his legs are up here before they boing, like kick out, you know, almost like a squash. But we're still just easing in, okay? And maybe his antennas dragging right there. His wings are still going crazy. And let's just change his arms up, you know, like they come up like this. And he'll boing, like spring out of it, okay? Boing. So we're just taking some creative freedom right here. We're not doing exact in-betweens, but we're still easing in to that key pose at this drawing right here, okay? So let's go back, insert a blank frame, and let's get closer. Okay, and this is where, you know, use your creative judgment. You know, if you want the antennas to stay back longer, then on this frame, draw them back longer, and then they pop up. Or you can have them overshoot and recoil. You could, you know, they could draw into his head and pop up and then come back. It's your animation, so do whatever you want to make it fun and whatever excites you. Okay. So here, like this arm, I'm gonna, man, he's gonna, let's just anticipate that, and let's anticipate the legs. You know, we'll just get them up like this. And I think I want the antennas to do the same thing. They're gonna kind of do this and then boing, spring open. That might be fun. Okay. If you don't like it, change it. See, here comes his stinger. So I need to find the best way to get his stinger around here. Okay. I think I might add it right here like this. Okay. So let's add a insert a frame, and I'm going to click, and now I'm getting a lot tighter in here. Okay. So my drawings are just getting closer and closer. Okay. It's a great way to learn how to ease in and ease out of something. It's just creating two poses and practicing getting in and out of them. Okay. I'm still gonna hold his arms up and hold his feet up. I just think that's kind of fun as he gets into this. Okay, I'm gonna in between these down like this and see what happens. Okay. And then let's insert a frame and just start drawing. And we're gonna just quickly get this in here. This is our rough animation, okay? We're just seeing if this works. 1, 2, 3, 4. And, you know, now that I'm doing this, I kind of like, oh, I like that the arms are going to do that. So what if I, as he comes up, what if the eyes close and his mouth closes, and then everything springs open at once? Okay, that might be kind of cool. So let's get his eyes. Just going to redraw this. So this just came to me as I'm animating, and it might not work. We can always redo it. So let's try one more of him preparing the spring open. Okay, this is a little more, let's say a little more advanced than just slow in and slow out. I just wanted to show you how, you know, don't be afraid to change your stuff and really play with your idea. And, you know, like something might come to you halfway through, but there's no reason to lose all of that work, you know, that you've already done. We can just try our idea and see if it works. Boom. Let's have him pop open right here, and we'll just pop past our final drawing. Bam. Why not? And then we'll just kind of ease back into that. You know, we'll Bam, shoot his feet back. Maybe have his arms extend past where we thought they should go. Boom, we'll pop these up past that drawing. His little wings are still flapping, man. They're still going. Boom, and now we could settle into our final key pose. We're still easing. It's another form of easing in. We just changed one of our main poses. Or one of, we changed one of our in-betweens to be more of a breakdown. So now it's kind of changing how we're easing into this drawing, which I think that's pretty cool, don't you? So now we could ease. You could ease different parts in. Like this foot could get there faster than this one. It's still easing in. Okay. And so now let's do a little timing. Bam. So pop. And then we'll hold that for 2, that one for 2. Okay, let's move our stop marker down and we'll just hit play and see what happens. Sweet. Yeah, so there he is. So we just started with 2 drawings, and this is what we got out of it. Okay. And you could even have, now that I'm looking at it, like we could really nail down this, this squash. Let's say it's a, really big squash pose. Okay. And that might be a new key drawing. Okay. And so it might change how we get up into that drawing. See how like this doesn't really work anymore, this drawing, okay? And maybe this drawing doesn't work anymore, but I still like this one. Okay, 17. And we're trying to get up into 20. Okay, so let's just see what 20 looks like. Okay, so we could favor. So now I'm easing into 20. Okay. Because that was a new squish pose that we made. Okay, and I'm offsetting the legs. I want this leg to get there before the other one. So I'm going to do the same with the arms. I'm going to get this arm up there faster than this one. Okay, so now I'm just going to roughly do this so we can see if this is working. Okay, I'm just easing up into that new wash pose. Okay, and this arm, I said it's going to get up there faster, and this one's still dragging. And this foot got up there faster. And this one is still coming up. Okay, do you feel that? Maybe this needs to change. Okay, and if we want to hold this pose a little longer, we could ease up into it a little more. So let's add a drawing. And I'm going to zoom in a little so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay, I left off those stripes, so let's just add them in. Yeah, I kind of got really off on the stripes, but that's okay. Okay, let's go to this drawing. And this is a squash. We're just easing into that squash, okay? Okay, this leg is up there, but maybe the foot's still dragging. This foot's already there. This arm's already there. And this arm's coming up. Maybe the antenna's already there. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly. I'm just drawing, animating, trying to get things in, get the wings in. If it doesn't work, I'll go back and change it. Okay, pop. Okay, let's zoom out and hit play. Did you feel how he holds up there a little bit longer? And if we needed to hold up there just slightly longer, we could time this on 2s. Just see how that feels. Yeah, that's cool. And we could even have him pop open as he's drifting up into there, you know? So like, if we turn on a few onion skinnings ahead and behind, we can see path of action. So he's going to dive down. Okay, don't be afraid to go in and change things. Okay, he's still easing in, but I'm just gonna float him over like this a little. Just see what happens. Yeah, I like that. You feel he kind of still floats from that momentum of flying over there. Bam. And maybe his stinger, you know, is, you know, back here and back here and back here. This is our squash pose, and then pop. And we could really pop him like this. Okay, so that's our little example of slow in and slow out. So get out there, get drawing, get animating, and until next time, happy animating, and I'll talk to you later.